Sorry, just searching for a West Ham win. Don't mind me. Oh, not down there. Hello, welcome to the West Ham. Oi, oi! Yes, so we went up to the Black Country last night, and we got thoroughly spanked by the Wolverines of Wolverhampton Wanderers, or whatever they like to call themselves these days. I suppose I better say, this is the West Ham Oi Oi show. Oi Oi! And I hope you're enjoying it. Please subscribe, tell your friends, share the video, and, well, leave lots of comments. Right, so this is the West Ham Oi Oi show, and we're going to be talking about West Ham United. That's right, I've got an official bag. That makes me a proper fan. Also, I've got a calendar as well. Okay, it's last year's calendar, but it doesn't matter. Look, do you remember him? That was Joe Hart. He was a cracking goalkeeper, wasn't he? Thankfully, we've got a much better goalkeeper now. Do you know that fella? Yes, that's right. Hernandez couldn't hit a barn door in the wind. And oh, Manny, we miss you, baby. We miss you. Noble, well, mostly too slow. Every now and again he has a great game, but mostly too slow. Anyway, look, enough of that nonsense. Right, I'm going to look for a better performance from the lads. All right, how do these work then? Yeah, so it wasn't a great display, wasn't it? The first half was pretty much a non-event. Last 20 minutes we could have conceded 3 or 4 goals if it wasn't for Fabianski. Massive problems in defence, as we know. Bonner Masuaku. Diop not really having a fantastic game. I think it's more the pairing with Bonner. Zabaleta still trying, but you know he needs support there. Midfield, Snodgrass, Trier, but it's not working out for him. Noble off the pace really. Rice could hold his head high again, but still not a fantastic performance. You know, just a good performance in general. Left hand side, Anderson. What can I say about Anderson? I think he was trying. You know, there was quality that he was trying to inject into the team, but he just didn't have a lot of support around him. Antonio was a lot of endeavour. He had some good flicks. You know, he was getting the ball. He was trying to lay off. But again, you know, that quality right at the top end. But I won't knock him for his endeavour. You know, he certainly tried out there. And Arnautovic was just off form. There you go. I've dissected the whole performance there. Well, here on the West Ham Oi Oi show, we like to look at the lighter side of life. It's all a bit heavy at the moment, though. We need a result, don't we? Wolverhampton Wanderers came as, you know, the set plays, you know, let us down, and yeah, they certainly got the size of us on the first goal from the corner. See what I did there? The size, yes, their player size, you know, with that head in and beat Fabianski, and then Jimenez got 2 goals, got a brace, and well, basically, the first one was just bit of a melee in the penalty area, and the second one was just a good sweeping move, wasn't it? And a good finish by the lads. So, what does that tell you? They tell you that our first team just isn't good enough, is it? Especially with all the injuries that we've got, and our squad players coming into the side to cover just isn't good. Now, just before the kick-off, a couple of hours before, I suppose, we were all greeted with the news that Nasri and Creswell were out injured, and also Lucas Perez, well, which isn't much of a loss really, I suppose, and he might be going off to Real Betis or wherever he wants to go. And thanks very much, thank you for your service. But we missed Creswell, definitely, and there's no doubt about it, and we're missing the quality, the creativity of a Nasri as well. And it's not looking pretty for the next few games, is it? You know, we've got Liverpool home next Monday. That's going to be joyful, isn't it? You know, they're going to run riot. But, you know, no one else will probably pull out a performance. Now, the interesting thing about this whole saga is that, you know, we've had this string of defeats and really poor performances out of the FA Cup. But, you know, the players are still coming out, you know, with their social media tweets or whatever, and say, yeah, we must pull together and we must do well. We know where we've gone wrong and all that. Well, bugger me, yes, we all know where we're going wrong. Pellegrini is getting more and more pissed off, you can tell that. And, you know, even with his press conferences, he's just not a happy bunny out there. He can see that our players are not, putting their weight is probably a bit too strong, but they're just not, the quality's not there. They don't have the commitments. Probably a bit of complacency in there as well. But he's an unhappy bunny, isn't he? He knows that he needs to get a lot more players in. Will he have the money? That's the thing. You know, will the club actually splurge in the summer? I think, you know, the transfer window for us is closed now. Yeah, we might get a player in, but effectively we're looking at the summer now. We're looking at the end of the season. It's a dead season now, really. I mean, yes, look, can we still make 7th? Possibly, but not on the form that we've got. You know, we've got tough matches coming up. Then we've got a bit of a nice run in, you know, the last few games of the season, but we've still got some tough matches coming up. So, you know, we need those players now. That's it. We need the players now to come into the squad, come into the first team, and, you know, bolster. You know, if we're buying the likes of Gomez and then just lending him back to Celta Vigo, wherever he's coming from, that's not actually doing us any good. You know, I know you're looking at the long-term plan, but actually we need that help now, don't we? Hello, this is Irons United reporting live from Stratford-upon-Avon. Stratford, I mean, London. Please subscribe and hit the notifications bell down there somewhere. You know, you get this news and you think, oi, oi, that could help us out. And then, you know, you hear some other news that the player's going off somewhere else, and you think, oh, yeah. This is why it's called the West Ham Oi Oi Show, because it's oi, 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 oi. It can mean 100 things, can't it? You know, and this is West Ham in general, isn't it? We can have a great game, then we can have a whole series of crap games, crap performances, and it makes you question why you're, you know, a West Ham fan, and it makes you question why you bother, makes you question life. No, but anyway, so enough of that. Look, what do you think about this? What do you think that Pellegrini has to do? Is Pellegrini at fault? Is it just the players here? Is it a tactical thing? Is it a combination of everything? Obviously, you know, we've all got opinions. You know, I'm in front of the camera. It doesn't mean I know everything. I certainly don't have any insider information. So I'm asking you, what do you think? Let us know in the comments. You know, where do you think we need to strengthen, in what areas? Which players we need to let go of? Which players we need to keep hold of? What about our tactical game plan? You know, do we need to change our, you know, our formations, that kind of thing? Let us know. Leave comments. Right. So where do we go from here? That's the thing. Where do we go from here? You know, we've got to regroup, haven't we? Pellegrini, I think, you know, you behind closed doors, you can, you know, bet your bottom dollar or pound or shekel or whatever that he is, having a right go at the lads. Look, they're all adults, and I'm sure they all know where they're going wrong and what they need to do to correct it. But it's acting as a cohesive unit, isn't it? Look, I think Pellegrini, as I said right at the start of the season, I think Pellegrini needs to look at his game-to-game tactics as well. You know, what the opposition is, and also, you know, are you going to stick with this tactical game plan, but you still don't have the players to enact that game plan for every single game? Now, some games we know it's going to work. Other games it's not going to work. If we have all our fit players, you know, the top players, it might work. And then we can build on consistency. And not only, it was what, 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was waxing lyrical about, you know, oh, we've got good times ahead, and look at our squad, it's, you know, it's getting better. Then we have a few injuries, poor performances, and it's, you know, down in the dumps again. And then everybody starts to question, well, what's going on? You know, so, you know, I think Pellegrini needs to look at the players that he's got, which he obviously is, and he needs to start possibly changing his game-to-game tactics as well. Probably look at, you know, changing formations as well. You know, again, Wolves against Wolves, you know, 2 against 3 in midfield, we're always going to be overrun. Do we play with 3 at the back? Do we play with 5 across the midfield? You know, that kind of thing. We need to shore up. Maybe 4 at the back, 5, and then a 1. You know, if we're playing away, something like that. But who, again, you know, we've got deficiencies. You know, defence, midfield and attack. We need to strengthen up defence. You know, we're shipping goals just for fun here, and it's not just that we're letting in goals. We're putting pressure on Fabianski, undue pressure, and he's, you know, he's doing brilliantly, but he can't stop everything. It's the way we're letting teams get at us in defence. You know, on our midfield, what are we creating now? Pellegrini's got to look at our midfield and our width and also in our attack as well. He's got to look all over the pitch, doesn't he? But one of the key things that I've said for a long, long time is that we are awful at creating crossing opportunities and crossing the ball and getting up the field with pace. You know, yeah, sometimes we actually get forward quite quickly, very rarely, granted, but then the final delivery into the box is rubbish. Now, that's why the likes of Carroll, you know, I'm not defending him here, but that's like Carroll is always going to suffer because his game is going to be, you know, to head the ball or something like that. But if you've got no service, and quality service, no good. Same with Hernandez. If he hasn't got the quality service, he's always going to struggle. He's trying to fight for scraps, and those scraps are, you know, few and far between. So we've got to look at how we're playing the game. You know, we can't right now play the Pellegrini way, if you like, which I think is the right way to play, by the way, because we just don't have the players to do it. So you need to look at changing the way we're playing in the short term, just to get better flowing football, get better quality crosses into the box, you know, and just beat teams, you know, with faster pace, you know, better quality passing, that kind of thing. This sort of slow passing, side to side, kind of works, but then we run out of ideas in the final third. That's where we need to, you know, on the offensive, that's where we need to look at, you know, in strengthening up, or that's where Pellegrini needs to look at strengthening up, and that's where the players need to look at themselves and say, what are we actually doing here? So that's your midfield and your attack. In the defence, we just need to be better. You know, we can't have the likes of Masuaku and Ogbonna just, you know, causing frailties in defence. We need better than that. Now, the key question is obviously, we're not going to get transfers in now, possibly. We have to wait until the summer. So look, let's start injecting youth into the team. Let's bring on the likes of, I don't know, Silva, Diangana, you know, all the other under 23 players. You're starting drip feeding them in. Let's give them a go. Let's give them a run out. We can't keep on relying just on the likes of Carroll and Hernandez just to fill in for Arnautovic if he's injured. We need something more than that. And we need to develop this youth and bring it on, even if it is just a stopgap. We need something better. We need players that are hungry, that they want to prove something. They want to prove something to themselves, to the manager, and to the fans. We don't need players like the likes of Hernandez, Carroll, and, you know, Arnautovic, who may or may not want to do the best for themselves or best for the team, or, you know, they're thinking about going somewhere else. Anyway, look, it was a shocking display against Wimbledon. It was a shocking display last night. You know, I wanted to come on here and do a big grumble show, but you know what? I couldn't bring myself to it. I actually needed to discuss some of the tactical elements and also to what Pellegrini needs to do. You know, I think the big positive for us, okay, a small positive, okay, tiny positive, is how Fabianski is playing. If it wasn't for Fabianski, we would have got murdered last night, 6-7, 8-0. You know, so that's the big positive. The other big positive is Rice still continues to be our great player. We can see shades of Anderson being the player that we hope he can be, but it's a consistency issue. All the other players, I think, you know, are either too old, too slow, below par performances, or the quality just isn't there, or they're just really awful. So, you know, we've got to look at, we've got 2 or 3 players that are playing well. The rest of the team are either average or they're not playing well at all. That's where we're at. This is the West Ham Oi Oi show. It's supposed to be a lighter take on the West Ham world. Not really happening at the moment, is it, you know? But please subscribe, hit the notifications bell, leave loads of comments below, share it, tell your friends. Come on over to Irons United. Yes, we like to talk about West Ham. Anyway, I'm going to get onto my binos again and see who we're playing next and if we can get a result. Catch you then. Cheers now.